Eric. Two, Naomi said to 21, then Ruth the Moabite said, furthermore, he said to me, you should stay close to my servants until they have finished all my harvest. 22. Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, it's good, my daughter, that you go out with his maids, so that others do not fall upon you in another field. Ruth 2, New American Standard Bible, 23. So he stayed close by the maids of Boaz in order to glean until the end of the barley harvest and the wheat harvest, and she lived with her mother-in-law. Ruth 3, New American Standard Bible, 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, my daughter, shall I not seek security for you, that it may be well with you too? Now is not Boaz our kinsman with those maids you wear? Behold, he winnows barley at the threshing floor tonight. 3. Wash your face therefore, and anoint yourself, and put on your best clothes, and go down to the threshing floor, but do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. For it shall be when he lies down that you shall notice the place where he lies, and you shall go and uncover his feet and lie down. Then he will tell you what you should do. 5. She said to her, all that you say I will do. 6. So she went down to the threshing floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law had commanded her. 7. Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry. He went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain, and she came secretly and uncovered his feet and lay down. 8. It happened in the middle of the night that the man was startled and bent forward, and behold, a woman was lying at his feet. 9. He said, who are you? And she answered, I'm Ruth, your maid. So spread your covering over your maid, for you are a close relative. 10. Then he said, may you be blessed of the Lord, my daughter. You have shown your last kindness to be better than the first, by not going after young men, whether poor or rich. 11. Now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you whatever you ask. For all my people in the city know that you are a woman of excellence. 12. Now it is true, I am a close relative. However, there is a relative closer than I. 13. Remain this night, and when morning comes, if he will redeem you, good, let him redeem you. But if he does not wish to redeem you, then I will redeem you as the Lord lives. Lie down until morning. 14. So she lay at his feet until morning, and rose before one could recognize another. And he said, let it not be known that the woman came to the threshing floor. 15. Again he said, give the cloak, clock, C-L-O-A-K, give the clock that is on you, and behold, and hold it. So she held it, and he measured 6 measures of barley and laid it on her. Then she went into the city. Oh, you're taking? I don't know, man. 15. Again he said, give me the cloak that is on you, and hold it. So she held it, and he measured 6 measures of barley and laid it on her. Then she went into the city. 16. When she came to her mother-in-law, she said, how did it go, my daughter? And she told her all that the man had done for her. 17. She said, these 6 measures of barley he gave to me, for he said, do not go to your mother-in-law empty-handed. 18. Then she said, wait, my daughter, until you know how the matter turns out, for the man will not rest until he has settled it today. No, 40. Yeah. Okay. 18. Then she said, wait, my daughter, until you know how the matter turns out, for the man will not rest until he has settled it today. Ruth 4, New American Standard Bible 1. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, a close relative of whom Boaz spoke was passing by. So he said, turn aside, friend, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. 2. He took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, sit down here. So they sat down. 13. Then he said to the closest relative, Naomi, who has come back from the land of Moab, has to sell the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. 4. So I thought to inform you, saying, buy it before those who are sitting here and before the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if not, tell me that I may know, for there is no one but you to redeem it, and I am after you. And he said, I will redeem it. 5. Then Boaz said, on the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you must also acquire Ruth, the Moabites, the widow of the deceased, in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance. 6. The closest relative said, I cannot redeem it for myself because I would jeopardize jeopardize my own inheritance. Redeem it for yourself. You may have my right of redemption, for I cannot redeem it. 7. Now this was the custom in former times in Israel concerning the redemption and the exchange of land. To confirm any matter, a man removed his sandal and gave it to another woman, and this was the manner of the attestation in Israel. What is attestation? Attestation. Wow, I think I love it. Attestation. Attestation, evidence or proof of something. Their vocabulary is no attestation to your value as a parent. Ancient literature offers ample attestation of the association between athletics and warfare. Attestation is evidence or proof of something, the action of formally witnessing or satisfying something, a declaration that something exists or is the case. Attestation. In Israel. 9. Then Boaz said to the elders and all the people, you are witnesses today that I have bought from the hand of Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech, and all that belonged to Chilion and Mahalon. Yeah. 10. Moreover, I have acquired Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of Mahalon, to be my wife, in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance, so that the name of the deceased will not be cut off from his brothers or from the court of his birthplace. You are witnesses today. 11. All the people who were in the court and the elders said, we are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, both of whom built the house of Israel, and may you achieve wealth in Ephraim and become famous in Bethlehem. 12. Moreover, may your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah through the offspring which the Lord will give you by this young woman. 13. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife, and he went in to her, and the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. And he went in to her. And he went it's not into, and he went in to her. And the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. 14. Then the women said to Naomi, blessed is the Lord who has not left you without a redeemer today, and may his name become famous in Israel. 15. May he also be to you a restorer of life and a sustainer of your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you and is better to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him. 16. Then Naomi took the child and laid him in her lap and became his nurse. 17. Then the neighbor women gave him a name, saying, a son has been born to Naomi. So they named him Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. 18. Now these are the generations of Perez. To the Perez was born Hezron. 19. And to Hezron was born Ram. And to Ram Nadab. 20. And to Aminadab was born Nahashon, and to Nahashon Salmon. 21. And to Salmon was born Boaz, and to Boaz Abed. 22. And to Abed was born Jesse, and to Jesse David. Yeah, like what? Ruth is the most short Bible verse that I've read now. Ruth. Why is Ruth very short? Ruth was short for certain. It was short. Samuel 1, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now there was a certain man from Ramathaim, Zophim, from the hill country of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zupha, and Ephraimite. He had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. 3. Now this man would go up from his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice to the Lord of hosts in Sheol. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were priests to the Lord there. For when the day came that Elkanah sacrificed, he would give portions to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters. 5. But to Hannah he would give a double portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had closed her womb. 6. Her rival, however, would provoke her bitterly to irritate her, because the Lord had closed her womb. 7. It happened year after year, as often as she went up to the house of the Lord, she would provoke her, so she wept and would not eat. 8. Then Elkanah, her husband, said to her, Hannah, why do you weep, and why do you not eat, and why is your heart sad? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? 9. Then Hannah rose after eating and drinking in Shiloh. Now Eli the priest was sitting on the seat by the doorpost of the temple of the Lord. 10. She greatly distressed, prayed to the Lord, and wept bitterly. 11. She made a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and a razor shall never come on his head. And a razor shall never come on his head. 12. Now it came about, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli was watching her mouth. Eli was watching her mouth. 13. As for Hannah, she was speaking in her heart. Only her lips were moving, but her voice was not heard, so Eli thought she was drunk. 14. Then Eli said to her, how long will you make yourself drunk? Put away your wine from you. 15. But Hannah replied, no, my lord, I am a woman oppressed in spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. 16. Do not consider your maidservant as a worthless woman, for I have spoken until now out of my great concern and provocation. 17. Then Eli answered and said, go in peace, and may the Lord of Israel grant your petition that you have asked of him. 18. She said, let your maidservant find favor in your sight. So the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. 19. Then they arose early in the morning and worshipped the Lord, and returned again to their house in Ramah, and Elkanah had relations with Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Had relations. And Elkanah had relations with his wife, and the Lord remembered her. 20. It came about in due time after Hannah had conceived that she gave birth to a son, and she named him Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord. 21. Then the man Elkanah went up with all his household to offer to the Lord the yearly sacrifice and pay his vow. 22. But Hannah did not go up, for she said to her husband, I will not go up until the child is weaned. W-E-A-N-E-D. Weaned. What is weaned? Weaned. Until the child is weaned. What does it mean to wean? Weaned, past tense of weaned. Accustom an infant or other young mammal to food other than its mother's milk. Wean someone off, accustom someone to managing without something which they have become dependent on. The doctor tried to wean her off the sleeping pills. Oh, wean. Okay. Weaned on. Be strongly influenced by something, especially from an early age. I was weaned on a regular diet of Hollywood fantasy. Weaned, a baby or young animal that is weaned has started to eat other food, especially. Oh, weaned. So here they mean like the baby getting off the breastfeeding, yeah? Then I will bring him that he may appear before the Lord and stay there forever. Then 3. Elkanah had her husband. Elkanah, her husband, said to her, do what seems best to you. Remain until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord confirm his word. So the woman remained and nursed her son until she weaned him. 10:4. Now when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with a 3-year-old bull and 1 ewe. I didn't carry it. Yeah, forgot it. Elkanah's husband said to her, do what I read there. So the woman remained and nursed her son until she weaned him. 24. Now when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with a 3-year-old bull and 1 ephah of flour and a jug of wine, and brought him a jug. Is this jug? G-U-G, jug of wine, and brought him to the house of the Lord in Shiloh, although the child was young. 1 Samuel 1, New American Standard Bible. 25. Then they slaughtered the bull and brought the boy to Eli. 26. She said, oh my Lord, As your soul lives, my Lord, I am the woman who stood here beside you, praying to the Lord. 27. For this boy I prayed, and the Lord has given me my petition, which I asked of him. 28. So I have also dedicated to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is dedicated to the Lord, and he worshipped the Lord there. 1 Samuel 2, New American Standard Bible. 1. Then Hannah prayed and said, my heart exalts in the Lord, my horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth speaks boldly against my enemies, because I rejoice in your salvation. 2. There is no one holy like the Lord. Indeed, there is no one besides you, nor is there any rock like our God. 3. Boast no more so very proudly. Do not let arrogance come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and with him actions are weighed. 4. The bows of the Almighty are shattered by the feeble guard on strength. 5. Those who were full hire themselves out of the bread, but those who were hungry cease to hunger. Even the barren gives birth to 7, but she who has many children languishes. 6. The Lord kills and makes alive. He brings down to Sheol and raises up. 7. The Lord makes poor and rich. He brings low. He also exalts. 8. He raises the poor from the dust. He lifts the needy from the ash heap, to make them sit with nobles and inherit a seat of honor. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he set the world on them. 9. He keeps the feet of his godly ones, but the wicked ones are silenced in darkness. For not by might shall a man prevail. For not by might shall a man prevail. 10. Those who contend with the Lord will be shattered. Against them he will thunder in the heavens. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth, and he will give strength of his king, and will exalt the horn of his anointed. 11. Then Elkanah went to his home at Ramah, but the boy ministered to the Lord before Eli the priest. 12. Now the sons of Eli were worthless men. They did not know the Lord. 13. And the custom of the priests with the people, when any man was offering a sacrifice, the priest's servant would come while the meat was boiling with a three-pronged fork in his hand. 14. Then he would thrust it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot, all that the fork brought up the priest would take for himself. Thus they did in Shiloh to all the Israelites who came there. 15. Also, before they burned the fat, the priest's servant would come and say to the man who was sacrificing, give the priest meat for roasting, as he will not take boiled meat from you, only raw. 16. If the man say to him, they must surely burn the fat first, and then take as much as you desire, then he would say, no, but you shall give it to me now, and if not, I will take it by force. 17. Thus the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for the men despised the offering of the Lord. 18. Now Samuel was ministering before the Lord as a boy wearing a linen ephod. A linen ephod. 19. And his mother would make him a little robe and bring it to him from year to year when she would come up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. 20. Then Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, May the Lord give you children from this woman in place of the one she dedicated to the Lord. And they went to their own home. 21. Then the Lord visited Hannah, and she conceived and gave birth to 3 sons and 2 daughters, and the boy Samuel grew before the Lord. 22. Now Eli was very old, and he had all that his sons were doing to all Israel, and how they lay with the women who served at the doorway of the tent of meeting. 23. He said to them, Why do you do such things? The evil things that I hear from all these people. 24. 24. Are you on? There's some guy. I need to check if you are on. I just need to check. Are you on? Like, are you on? 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 Yes, you are on. Yes, you are on. Are you on? Are you on? Yeah. 24. No, my sons, for the report is not good, which I hear the Lord's people circulating. 25. If one man sins against another, God will meditate for him. But if a man sins against the Lord, who can intercede for him? But they would not listen to the voice of their father, for the Lord desired to put them to death. 26. Now the boy Samuel was growing in stature and in favor, both with the Lord and with men. 27. Then a man of God came to Eli and said to him, Thus says the Lord, did I not indeed reveal myself to the house of your father when they were in Egypt in bondage to Pharaoh's house? 1 Samuel 2, New American Standard Bible. 28. Did I not choose them from all the tribes of Israel to be my priests, to go up to my altar, to burn incense, to carry an ephod before me? And did I not give to the house of your father all the fire offerings of the sons of Israel? 29. Why do you kick at my sacrifice and at my offering, which I have commanded in my dwelling, and honor your sons above me by making yourselves fat with the choicest of every offering of my people Israel? 30. Therefore the Lord God of Israel declares, I did indeed say that your house and the house of your father shall walk before me forever. But now the Lord declares, far be it from me, for those who honor me I will honor, and those who despise me will be lightly esteemed. And those who despise me will be lightly esteemed. That one. Behold, the days are coming when I break your strength and the strength of your father's house, so that there will not be an old man in your house. 32. You will see the distress of my dwelling, in spite of all the good that I do for Israel, and an old man will not be in your house forever. 33. Yet I will not cut off every man of yours from my altar, so that your eyes will fail from weeping, and your soul grieve, and all the increase of your house will die in the prime of life. 34. This will be the sign to you which will come concerning your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas. On the same day, both of them will die. 35. But I will rise. But I will raise up for myself a faithful priest who will do according to what is in my heart and in my soul, and I will build him an enduring house, and he will walk before my anointed always. 26. Everyone who is left in your house will come and bow down to him for a piece of silver or a loaf of bread, and says, please assign me to one of the priest's offices so that I may eat a piece of bread. 1 Samuel 3, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now the boy Samuel was ministering to the Lord before Eli, and the word from the Lord was rare in those days. Visions were infrequent. 2. It happened at that time, as Eli was lying down in his place. Now his eyesight had begun to grow dim, that he could not see well. 3. And the lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying down in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was. 4. That the Lord called Samuel, and he said, here I am. 5. Then he ran to Eli and said, here I am, for you called me. But he said, I did not call you, lie down again. So he went and lay down. 6. The Lord called yet again, Samuel. So Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, here I am, for you called me. But he answered, I did not call, my son, lie down again. 7. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, nor had the word of the Lord yet been revealed to him. 8. So the Lord called Samuel again for the third time, and he arose and went to Eli and said, here I am, for you called me. Then Eli discerned that the Lord was calling the boy. What is discerned? Discerned. Past tense. Discerned. Past participle. Recognize or find out. I can discern. No difference between the two policies. Pupils quickly discern what is acceptable to the teacher. Distinguish someone or something with difficulty by sight or with other senses. Discern. Okay. That the Lord was calling the boy. 9. And Eli said to Samuel, go lie down, and it shall be, if he calls you, that you shall say, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. 10. Then the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel said, speak, for your servant is listening. 11. Then the Lord said to Samuel, behold, I am about to do a thing in Israel, at which both ears of everyone who hears it will tingle. 12. In that day I will carry out against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house, from beginning to end. 13. For I have told him that I am about to judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knew, because his sons brought a curse on themselves, and he did not rebuke them. 14. Therefore I have sworn to the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be atoned for by sacrifice or offering forever. 15. So Samuel lay down until morning. Then he opened the doors of the house of the Lord, but Samuel was afraid to tell the vision to Eli. 16. Then Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he said, Here I am. 17. He said, What is the word that he spoke to you? Please do not hide it from me. May God do so to you, and more also. And more also, if you hide anything from me of all the words that he spoke to you. 18. So Samuel told him everything and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord. Let him do what seems good to him. 19. Thus Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and let none of his words fail. 20. All Israel from Dan even to Beersheba knew that Samuel was confirmed as a prophet of the Lord. 21. And the Lord appeared again at Shiloh, because the Lord revealed himself to Samuel at Shiloh by the word of the Lord. 1 Samuel 4, New American Standard Bible. 1. Thus the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out to meet the Philistines in battle and camped beside Ebenezer, while the Philistines camped in Ephek. 2. The Philistines drew up in battle array to meet Israel. When the battle spread, Israel was defeated before the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 men on the battlefield. 3. When the people came into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Why has the Lord defeated us today before the Philistines? Let us take to ourselves from Shiloh, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, that it may come among us and deliver us from the power of our enemies. 4. So the people sent to Shiloh, and from there they carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, who sits above the cherubim, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of the Lord. 5. As the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth resounded. 6. When the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What does the noise of this great shout in the camp of Hebrews mean? Then they understood that the ark of the covenant, the ark of the Lord, had come into the camp. 7. The Philistines were afraid, for they said, God has come into the camp. And they said, Woe to us, for nothing like this has ever happened before. 8. Woe to us! Who shall deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods who smote the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the wilderness. 9. Take courage and be men, O Philistines, or you will become slaves to the Hebrews, as they have been slaves to you. Therefore be men and fight. 10. So the Philistines fought, and Israel was defeated, and every man fled to his tent, and the slaughter was very great, for there fell of Israel 30,000 foot soldiers. 30,000 foot soldiers. 11. And the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, died. 12. Now a man of Benjamin ran from the battle line and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes torn and dust on his head. 13. When he came, behold, Eli was sitting on his seat by the road, idly waiting, because his heart was trembling for the ark of God. So the man came to tell it in the city, and all the city cried out. 14. When Eli heard the noise of the outcry, he said, What does the noise of this commotion mean? Then the man came hurriedly and told Eli. 15. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were set out that he could not see. 16. Then the man said to Eli, I am the one who came from the battle line. Indeed, I escaped from the battle line today. And he said, How did things go, my son? 17. Then the one who brought the news replied, Israel has fled before the Philistines, and there has also been a great slaughter among the people, and your two sons also Hophni and Phinehas are dead, and the Ark of the Covenant and the Ark of God has been taken. 18. When he mentioned the Ark of God, Eli fell off the seat backward beside the gate, and his neck was broken, and he died, for he was old and heavy. Thus he judged 30. Thus he judged Israel 40 years. 19. Now his daughter-in-law Phinehas's wife was pregnant and about to give birth, and when she heard the news that the Ark of God was taken and that her father-in-law and her husband had died, she kneeled down and gave birth, for her pains came upon her. 20. And about the time of her death, the women who stood by her said to her, "Do not be afraid, for you have given birth to a son." But she did not answer or pay attention. 21. And she called the boy Ichbod. Ichabod, saying, "The glory has departed from Israel, because the Ark of God was taken." What is the Ark of God? Ark of God. Ark of God. Ark of God. Oh, the Ark of the Covenant is a sacred object in Jewish and Christian tradition, said to contain the Ten Commandments and other relics. Oh, the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, I gotta be back. Oh, do I have anybody here? Nobody. Oh. Damn. Ah. When did I start reading? Samuel. Because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. 22. She said, the glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God was taken. 1 Samuel 5, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. 2. Then the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it to the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. 3. When the Ashdodites arose early the next morning, behold, Dagon had fallen on his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. So they took Dagon and set him in his place again. When the Ashdodites arose early the next morning, behold, Dagon had fallen on his face to the ground before the ark of their Lord. So they took Dagon and set him in his place. 4. But when they arose early the next morning, behold, Dagon had fallen on his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off on the threshold. Only the track of Dagon was left to him. 5. Therefore, neither the priests of Dagon nor all who entered Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon's in Ashdod to this day. 6. Now the hand of the Lord was heavy on the Ashdodites, and he ravaged them and smote them with tumors, and both Ashdod and its territories. 7. When the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, the ark of the God of Israel must not remain with us, for his hand is severe on us and on Dagon our God. 8. So they sent and gathered all the lords of the Philistines to them and said, what shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? And they said, let the ark of the God of Israel be brought around to Gath. And they brought the ark of the God of Israel around. 9. After they had brought it around, the hand of the Lord was against the city with very great confusion, and he smote the men of the city, both young and old, so that tumors broke out of them. 10. So they sent the ark of God to Ekron, and as the ark of God came to Ekron, and Ekronites cried out, saying, they have brought the ark of God of Israel around to us to kill us and our people. 11. They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines and said, send away the ark of the God of Israel and let it return to its own place, so that it will not kill us and our people. For there was a deadly confusion throughout the city, and the hand of God was very heavy there. 12. And the men who did not die were smitten with tumors, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. 1 Samuel 6, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now the ark of the Lord had been in the country of Philistines 7 months. 2. And the Philistines called for the priests and the diviners, saying, what shall we do with the ark of the Lord? Tell us how we shall send it to its place. 3. They said, if you send away the ark of God of Israel, do not send it empty, but you shall surely return to him a guilt offering. Then you will be healed, and it will be known to you why his hand is not removed from you. 4. Then they said, what shall be the guilt offering which we shall return to him? And they said, 5 golden tumors and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of the Philistines. For one plague was on all of you and on your lords. 5. So you shall make likeness of your tumors and likenesses, the likeliness of your tumors and the likenesses of your mice that ravage the land, and you shall give glory to the Lord of Israel. Perhaps he will ease his hand from you, your goats and your land. 6. Why then do you harden your hearts as the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts when he had severely dealt with them? Did they not allow the people to go? And they departed. 7. Now therefore take and prepare a new cart and 2 milch, milch, cows on which there has never been, on which there has never been a yoke, and hitch the cows to the cart, and take their cows home away from them. 8. Take the ark of the Lord and place it on the cart, and put the articles of gold which you return to him as a guilt offering in a box by its side. Then send it away that it may go. 9. Watch if it goes up by the way of its own territory to Beth Shemesh, then he has done us this great evil. But if not, then we will know that it was not his hand that struck us. It happened to us by chance. 10. Then the men did so and took 2 milky cows and hitched them to the cart and shut up their cows at home. 11. They put the ark of the Lord on the cart and the box with the golden mice and the likeness of their tumors. 12. And the cows took the straight way in the direction of Beth-meth. They went along the highway, lowing as they went, and did not turn aside to the right or to the left. And the loads of the Philistines followed them to the border of Beth-shemesh. 13. Now the people of Beth-shemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley, and they raised their eyes and saw the ark and were glad to see it. 14. The cart came into the field of Joshua the Beth-Shemite, and stood there where there was a large stone, and they split the wood of the cart and offered the cows as a burnt offering to the Lord. 15. The Levites took down the ark of the Lord and the box that was with it, in which were the articles of gold, and put them on the large stone. And the men of Beth-shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrifices that day to the Lord their God. 16. When the 5 lords of the Philistines saw it, they returned to Ekron that day. 17. These are the golden tumors which the Philistines returned for a guilt offering to the Lord: 1 for Ashdod, 1 for Gaza, 1 for Ekron, 1 for Gath, 1 for Ekron. 18. And the golden mice according to the number of all the cities of Philistines belonging to the 5 lords, both of fortified cities and of country villages. The large stone on which they set the ark of the Lord is a witness to this day in the field of Joshua the Beth-Shemite. 19. He struck down some of the men of Beth-shemesh because they had looked into the ark of Lord. He struck down of all the people 50,000 70 men, and the people mourned because the Lord had struck the people with a great slaughter. 20. The men of Beth-shemesh said, who is able to stand before the Lord, this holy God, and to whom shall he go up from us? 31. So they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kiriath Jearim, saying, the Philistines have brought back the ark of the Lord. Come down and take it up to you. 1 Samuel 7, New American Standard Bible. 1. And the men of Kiriath Jearim came and took the ark of the Lord and brought it into the house of Abinadab on the hill, and consecrated Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord. 2. From the day the ark remained at Kiriath Jearim, the time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. 7. Then Samuel spoke to all the house of Israel, saying, if you return to the Lord with all your heart, remove the foreign gods and the Ashtaroth from among you, and direct your hearts to the Lord, and serve him alone, and he will deliver you from the hand of the Philistines. 4. So the sons of Israel removed the Baals and the Ashtaroth and served the Lord alone. 5. Then Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray to the Lord for you. 6. They gathered to Mizpah and drew water and poured it out before the Lord, and fasted on that day, and said, therefore, we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the sons of Israel at Mizpah. 7. Now when the Philistines heard that the sons of Israel had gathered to Mizpah, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel, and when the sons of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. 8. Then the sons of Israel said to Samuel, do not cease to cry to the Lord our God for us, that he may save us from the hand of the Philistines. 9. Samuel took a suckling lamb and offered it for a whole burnt offering to the Lord. And Samuel cried to the Lord for Israel, and the Lord answered him. 10. Now Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, and the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day against